Finally. Ready to redo this and get it right this time.
Near the post office.
So exciting! Yeah, said nobody ever. It was dead silence in that. They were loud. We're discussing circumcision. How do you not know? How do you not know your phone's so loud? Packistaki's Ludia. Hey, what's up, garden friends? Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? I hope you're good. I'm great. As always, this week's vlog's gonna be all over the place. I didn't really do much to vlog about. Been doing some other things that aren't really gardening related. There might be a lot of like car talk and stuff like that. But well, I'll get around to maybe doing like a plant tour or something at the end of the video. How's that sound? Or a grow room, grow space, greenhouse tour. That's the more appropriate thing to call it. So yeah, like I said, not the busiest week in the grow room. I mean, I've been doing things. What was that? I mean, I have been doing things, but they weren't necessarily vlog worthy. Like, nobody cares if I sweep and vacuum. That's pretty boring stuff. Not that me sitting at my desk rambling is riveting entertainment. So, that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive on into it. Here we go! Finally. I'm sure y'all have heard me talk about how we have not had much rain at all this year. Well, yeah, this year. Not much since October of 2017. We're in a severe drought. So this is a very, very, very welcome sight. I'm so happy right now. Just the smell of the rain, it's refreshing. I do have to keep an eye on these palms though. Mainly that I need to keep an eye on the color of their spears. That's very important. If they start to get kind of white or a light yellow, moving them in. That means they're weak. They're not handling things the way they should be. And I'm also using this as an opportunity to drop my temperature a little bit and bring the humidity up. I mean, I'll do that in a while. And I think that the orchids will appreciate the temperature shift with the humidity. Oh, and to clarify, by drop the temperature, I mean, it was like 88, 89 inside the grow room today, the bubble, and it's currently 60 outside. It did get up to 81 today, which is phenomenal for February. It was an amazing day. Very productive. It's amazing when you go outside and you feel the sun and the warmth on your skin. It just really motivated me and kind of, I felt very revived and refreshed. It was nice. So I'm gonna let the temperatures in here probably drop to about 65 to 70, which I haven't done in a while, but the temperature is supposed to be so moderate that it should be easy to warm it back up. So that shouldn't be a problem. Look what just came in the mail. And it is very cold. I think... Is it the right one? Oh, it's so cold. Yes. Finally, the right one. Yeah. Now I have to package up and send back the other one. This thing is ice cold. Really should have been a heat pack in with this. Alright, I've been going at this for a good hour. Had to recharge the battery a couple times, not fully charged, like 15 minutes here and there. So probably 40 minutes, 30 minutes of work. And I finally got it to go through the other end. So I'm hopeful that that's going to relieve whatever pressure's down there that's holding this guy in. Maybe I can just snap it out. I think I'm gonna have to use a larger bit and open it up some more at the bottom. So I'm gonna do that first. All right, the drill died again. If I managed to get 2 holes in here, you can't really see. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. That's hot to get the bit out. I finally got it. Well, it's about frickin' time. Man, that took forever. Ugh. Lots of tools got used. Multiple broken drill bits. Some not broken. Now, it doesn't look that great. But, hey, at least I can go ahead and get this orchid mounted again. After I clean up this giant mess. And I'm thirsty. Gonna make a drink. Alright, ready to redo this and get it right this time. I forgot my drink. 1 second. There we go. Much better. It's really toasty in here. Cheers. Here you go. I had debated whether or not I need to go ahead and incorporate some sphagnum into this. I don't think I need to. So you can see in here, it's only been about a week since I mounted this, and there's already root growth. I'm gonna say this guy's probably alright, so I'm not gonna do the sphagnum. And that's partially because when this is outside during the late spring, summer, and early fall, we sometimes get a lot of precipitation or none at all. It's just, it depends every year. But I think it'll end up being too wet outside with the sphagnum in there, so not doing the moss. So I've gone ahead and pre-cut some of this poly-coated, plastic-coated wire. This will work much better, I think, than the metal wire I was using before, because that will rust. Now, there is metal wire in here, but it's protected, so should be better. And just like with the other one, I'm going to guide it through the back, underneath the holes, and bring it up. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing through probably this hole up through one of these new holes that I ended up cutting to get the drill bit out through there, like this. And I kind of had this other short one I cut, just kind of, I guess, for good luck. I'll go ahead and run that through there too. And here's what that looks like from the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this Brassavola attached here. Really, I'm just spreading these apart, opening it up, if it will allow me to, and wrapping it. I'm going to keep wrapping it and just making it nice and tight. I don't want to wiggle around on here. And there we go. Out of focus. 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 Nice and snug. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I don't see the roots, the bunch, the rhizomes. Nothing's moving around on there. I'm going to go ahead and give this a soak, and I'm happy to finally have that done and done properly. What a thorn in my side that turned out to be. Get to go to the post office. So exciting. Yeah, said nobody ever. Oh good, he's finally turning. This guy's been going 25 and a 45 for the last 5 minutes. Kind of. Which is, you know, a little bit unnecessary. Okay, and also, I know when I did the video about this orchid, I was like, you know what, it's not a big deal, mistakes happen, he wants me to send it back. And I was like, you know, it's fine. But the more I think about it, now that I'm actually in the moment, it's a little bit ridiculous. I've never had somebody send me the wrong plant before and then demand me send the plant back. I'm kind of okay with it because I don't want 2 of them. And, you know, this is their livelihood. It's, you know, what potentially a part of their income and whatnot. But still, I gotta drag my butt all the way to the post office in the middle of a work day during the week so I can mail this thing back. I don't know. It's a little bit annoying, but is what it is. And yeah, it's fine. That's what I'm gonna keep telling myself. It's fine. Everything's fine. No big deal. I guarantee you I will not be saying the same thing if when I get into the post office there's a really long wait. Yeah, that won't be happening. Whoa, whoa, wrong way. There we go. Been so long since it's rained, I forgot how to use my windshield wipers. Y'all like melting pot? Let's go get some fondue. Not really. I don't think that's something people do in the middle of the day during the week. Let's just go to melting pot and spend $100 on cheese. Actually, that sounds pretty awesome. Sounds more fun than going to the post office. Blech. Well, at least there aren't a ton of cars here. That's kind of nice. Hopefully the wait won't be too terribly long. Shouldn't be bad. Whole Foods. Now, post office was fairly quick. There were like a dozen people in front of me, which is not bad at all for the post office. I have some funny stories for y'all though, but that's gonna have to wait. I'm gonna run to Whole Foods real quick and resume this car vlog. Alright, so done with Whole Foods. Always very quick because I never buy much there. Place is kind of pricey. As I was saying, at the post office, you ever been someplace where it's a quiet atmosphere, but sometimes there's somebody there who doesn't have much social awareness and they're talking really, really loud? Yeah, well, that's what happened in the post office. It was dead silence in that place. It was so incredibly quiet, but about 2 people in front of me, there's this woman, she was on the phone. I don't know who she was talking to, but they were loud. And they were discussing circumcision. And I learned an awful lot about these people and their preferences and lifestyles. Really funny. There was a guy probably about my age, like mid-20s, maybe 30, right behind me, and we kept exchanging glances and kind of laughing a little bit. So it was just like, how do you not know? How do you not know your phone's so loud? Like, I could hear everything. I know that your 26-year-old nephew just got circumcised and he can't drive because his car's too bumpy and all kinds of... It's just way too much for me, but it was definitely entertaining. That's for sure. Yeah, thought I'd share that with y'all. And now,
Hi, welcome to Starbucks.
I'm so excited for coffee. Should I not have told y'all about the circumcision story? I mean, I thought it was funny. Someone could be offended by it. The video could get demonetized. Make it educational? Do I need to define what it is? I'd rather not. I feel like I should just stop while I'm ahead. Life just got so much better. Look at how dry these wax myrtles are. I mean, they're not dead, but these are normally evergreen. Not this year. Not enough rain, too much wind. Also, these are not wax myrtles, they're bayberries. In the same family, look pretty much the same, but the bayberry grows further north than the wax myrtle does. Just correcting myself there a little bit. One of you suggested, not too terribly long ago, that I do another greenhouse tour. I did one actually I don't know if I did one last year. It may have been 2016. And I thought, you know what, that's a pretty good idea. Problem, though, is that the bulk of what I have along this wall are materials that I'll be using for future videos, so I kind of have to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think maybe I'll just go around and kind of highlight things that I don't really talk about very often or show very often. For example, this pack of stackies. This is the Pachystachys lutea. I often mistakenly call it justicia. It's not a justicia. And when I do call it the right thing, I tend to call it Pachystachys luteans, which is not this. But that's actually because of these guys right here, the Eureka palms. Their name ends in luteans. Lutea, luteans, the root. Lutea, gold, yellow. So, that's this guy. Really pretty plant. It is doing very, very well out here this year. Got lots of flowers on it, lots of growth. In fact, it's actually starting to get in my way, and I need to do some pruning on it. I've been debating whether or not I want to do the prune, because if I get into this and make the cuts, I think I'd like to propagate the cuttings, because it's just such an easy plant to grow. I could propagate those cuttings and throw them in my garden bed this year and have really nice looking plants by the end of the season. So I have to think on that one a little bit. I'm really just kind of being weird. I'm like hoarding my plants here. So that's the deal with this guy. Really pretty, love it. If you've never grown Pachystachys lutea, I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's super easy to grow. And here, this is the lifesaver plant, or huernia zebrina. It just went out of flower. It's been flowering for a pretty long time, has some buds on it. Doing okay, got this chain draped around the top. This spot has been pretty good for it. It's just kind of hanging from this chandelier up here, and it seems to be liking it. I really don't mess with this plant much at all. I do think it's going to need a repotting, though, this spring. Yeah, but it's looking okay. As everybody knows, there's the rod full of vandas over here. Actually, I need to go ahead and soak these real quick while I'm thinking about it. There we go, that's better, and whenever I put these down to soak, I also come over here and I then come over and flip on the circulation fan. There's some mounts here. You guys know about this Brassavola. I think that was in this video, actually. So you will have just seen that. This one you have to wait. No, you don't. This video came out today. Today's Thursday. You've seen this. It's doing well. No signs of desiccation or anything in there. Roots seem okay. They also need their soaking, though. And the buds from my Galliopetulum, which is a Zygopetalum hybrid. These guys are finally starting to pop open. They just sort of sat still for a while, but they're doing their thing, finally. And things are messy and chaotic on the humidity table, as always. Got my zygo back there, the dendrobiums, paphiopedulums, numerous encyclias, and all these fun things. Miltoniopsis Morris chestnut, looking really pretty and fancy today. Got my crotons, Croton petra. These guys are over here. One of the stems ended up completely defoliating. I went ahead and rotated these in last week's vlog when I moved the plants inside. When I kind of rotated them, I moved my mule palms out and brought the oleander and the heliconias in. I also went ahead and rotated these a little bit. And the sides that were on the darker side, kind of in this inside area, a little bit of defoliation, but that's okay as long as the tips are green. They can resprout, so no big deal there. And there actually is a fair amount of new growth on these guys. And then back here, kind of in a darker area, this is my Monstera deliciosa, or as Rachel, gardening at Duenza, calls it, the delicious monsters, which I love. This is the variegated variety. Doing well, seeming happy. I do have to constantly come over and pull it from this trunk because I don't want it rooting onto that trunk, which it wants to root on there very badly. Down here, this is one of my Ecalphas. It wasn't doing all that well, but it just recently, as the temperatures picked up, has started to perk up. There's lots of new growth in here, fresh flowers. It's doing much better. And then back in here, there is a Hericium, a variegated variety. I usually let those go dormant. This one still has some growth on it, so that's why it kind of looks shabby, because I don't really do much with them in the winter. And behind there are some spindle palms, which are going to be almost impossible to show you because they're sort of buried in there. Phoenix Robellini, pygmy date palm. I've had this one for many, many many years, and it's kind of being dwarfed a little bit by this pack of stackies, which is another reason I should go ahead and prune it. It's just so nice having that pop of color out here in the winter time. Oh, and there's that big banana. This is the Enset Morellii, red obsidian banana, and all kinds of things happening in its pot, including where I hang my net that I use to skim out the debris from the aquaponics pond. Philodendron Xanadu over there. This is my Graptophyllum Boisei, hanging out in there. It's kind of a warmer spot, that's why that's there. And this Vanda that I have separated because it needs a little bit of work. One of my favorite hibiscus hanging out in here. It hasn't put out any blooms for me this winter, so I think it needs some changes in lighting and nutrient, but the leaves are nice and stiff, green, no yellowing. The new growth is coming up really healthy, so that's all really good. And things are looking just as nice for the Hamelia patens over here too. I believe this variety is called Firefly. It's supposed to be a dwarf. Doing well. And here's just a random hanging basket that I put kind of my misfit orchids in that need a little bit more TLC. I can keep them together and keep a better eye on them. Hey, Senecio Rolienius. This is the String of Pearls. Potted this guy up in a video, I want to say in October, and it's doing okay. Things are a little bit too cool out here for it, but it has enough going on with it that it should be just fine. And I mean, if not, then you just, cut those off and repot them. I think it really just didn't like that cold snap we had. More Vandas over here, Vandas everywhere. And here's my wall of orchids going down here. A lot of them are over on the humidity table right now, and then the others are just kind of hanging out in there. I have my more tropical plants that need more water up here on this top shelf. So there's this really pretty philodendron. I think the variety is called like King Orange, maybe, with this neat terrarium plant that I just kind of tossed in the front last year, and it took root and has been doing well in there with like not much attention at all. That's pretty cool. Some Mastavillas in there, hibiscus back here. This is a Jatropha, doing well. Tillandsia cyanea, this is a really big clump of these guys up here, harder to see. Hopefully we'll get some flowers out of these this year. And since they flowered last year, this is mostly all of their pups in here. Man, this is hard to see. And those don't always bloom for you the next year, so that may have to wait a year. My schlumbergara, this is the Thanksgiving cactus. There was a video on this. It's hanging out in here, doing really well. More bromeliads in the background that flowered last year, but I still have them up here because I'm waiting for pups on them to mature. There's a lot of little babies coming up on them. Waiting for those to get a little bit bigger before I separate them from the mother plant. Some large cactus over here. These are cactus cuttings I need to pot up. And here's where all my succulents and things are that will be in many videos later. Succulents and cacti. And you can see back here, this pitcher, we put that Senecio in. And the Echeveria that's in there, really atoliated like crazy. It has stopped since I got under this grow light, but I mean, what's done is done. So I'll have to cut its head off and repot that some other time. Chinese fan palms are back here, as well as the Strelitzia Nicole. These are the white bird of paradise. And my orange bird of paradise is hidden back here. You can't see it, but it's back there. As well as my Alpinia variegata. No, Alpinia Zarumba variegata, growing very, very well. Best it's ever grown during winter. They do just fine in the deep shade. I think I may have been giving it too much sun all these years, considering how much it grows for me in the winter when it's practically in the dark. I also have this hanging basket up here with my begonia in it. That is, I want to say, just a pink dragon's wing begonia, which I will probably be taking cuttings from soon to get ready for future hanging baskets. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bulk of everything. That's really the gist of what's going on. Got my big hibiscus in the background over there. There are a couple queen palms in there too that you can't really see. They suffered a lot of damage this fall from the colds. But it looks like they're putting out some growth, so I think they're going to be okay. So yeah, that's the end of February tour. I know there's still like several days left in February by the time this video goes up. However, next weekend when I would be doing this will be March, so this is the time to do it. There actually is one other plant I wanted to highlight, but it's like really hard to get to. You can kind of see it back there, but you know when you zoom in things get fuzzy. It's the Moroccan fireworks plant. Love it, have had it for years and just does great, pretty purple flowers. When the time's right and I can get in there better, I'll do a whole separate video on those guys because I think they're just awesome. Oh, and I never really talk about what's going on with my top shelf. So there's a big Oncidium Sherry Baby here. I have my Laelia Santa Barbara Sunset, a Schlumbergara Myrmecanidivola, I can't pronounce it, Tenensis over there, a fun variety of croton that I don't know the name of, a Justicia with those pretty bubblegum pink flowers. Oh, and my Encyclia cordillera right there. That's what's going on with the shelf. And there's my bird's nest fern there, as well as one of my pitcher plants, one of my nepenthes. And it is really, really putting on a lot of growth this year. It's doing well in the growth space, that's for sure. You guys like my coaster? It's got a crab on it. It's from Leoma Lovegrove. She's an artist down in Florida in a town called Matlacha, kind of between Fort Myers and Pine Island. And her stuff is very, very, very vibrant and loud and colorful and tropical. Makes me very happy. I have her coasters and some other things. I don't have any of her paintings. I like her stuff. Really colorful. My favorite tropical type artist is Steve Barton. One of my dreams is to one day have some of his paintings. I'll do like a Google image search and we can scroll through them, but I'm not going to full size anything because I'm not sure if that's legal. So it has to stay within the Google image framework, but his paintings, the way he works with light, like it looks like things are illuminated. And one of the neatest things about his art is he bows the frames, he bends them like waves and makes them really shiny and pretty. And he bows the canvas with them too, which is hard to see in pictures. But in person, the whole thing looks like it has a very gentle wave in it. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love his stuff. I first saw it when I was a young teenager, probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, down in Destin, Florida at the Weiland Museum. That's where it was. And he had his stuff featured there. And I don't think the Weiland Museum's even there anymore in Destin. But I've ever since, like that one trip there, and my mind has just been blown. And someday, I'll have one of those paintings. Right now, I actually have a print. What's it called? Like a Geely? I don't know what that means. It's an art term. So it's not like a poster reproduction. It's like somewhere in between there. It's numbered and has an authenticity thing, but it's not a painting. It doesn't have the frame, and I don't know. I'm not that well versed in the art world, but I just know I like things that are really bright and colorful, and man, Leoma Lovegrove and Steve Barton really have that nailed. Love it. Just love all of their stuff. I feel like there was something else I was going to talk about in this video, but I can't remember what it was. I actually have to wrap this up because there are several other videos I have to get on top of. Long story, but need to kind of get moving as far as that's concerned. Do you guys have any favorite tropical artists? Let me know down below. Actually, first, so I'm sorry if this video was like a lot of car talking and random stuff. You know, it's still winter here, and there's only so much that happens during the week to vlog about. So I apologize for that. Things will be picking up soon, though. Spring is here. Kind of. I mean, it was 80 degrees a few days ago, but for the past 2 days, it's been in the 20s and 30s and snowing and sleeting. But 3 weeks until spring. Just over that. Why don't you guys let me know who some of your favorite artists are? Do you guys have any favorite tropical artists? What's going on with your plants? What are you getting ready for with spring? Just comment down below, because I love talking to y'all. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It helps the videos a lot. Subscribe as well, because I upload multiple times a week. I'll put my social media stuff down below in the description. Follow me, I follow you back. We look at each other's pictures and have fun nerdy plant time together. Alright everybody, as always, keep on growing. Bye-bye!